Hello, welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here. We're going to dive right into your reading. I am quite excited to see what comes out here today. Let's see, what do we have for Pisces, please, Spirit? What can you tell us for Pisces? What does Pisces need to know right now? For Pisces, please, Spirit, for Pisces. For Pisces. Dang. Oh, Pisces. This is dramatic energy. What's happening here with you guys? What in the world? I'm really picking up on a very specific message here with this hostilities card. Pisces, I feel as though you're being very strong and you're not giving in. You are protecting your energy, and I feel you are being protected. I feel like there's someone here who wants access to your energy, or who it feels like they have a lot of feelings towards you and they don't want you opening the door to anyone else or giving anyone else an opportunity. But it kind of looks like they're fighting for this in a bit the wrong way. Like, I don't want to judge, but let me see. I'm just going to clarify this. Hostilities for Pisces. Oh. Okay, Pisces, I feel like someone's trying to come back around. I feel like this is someone that had a very particular way of viewing things or thinking about things in the past. They may have even, you may have even asked this person for more, or had some kind of conversation with this person where it's like, hey, this either needs to become something more, or I need to move away from it. Because I don't hang out in the gray area for long. You know, I understand that we have to figure out what this is and you know, get to know each other and all of that. But I'm not looking for something that's confusing, like, period. And so this person had a limited mindset. This person had a really hard time breaking themselves free. This is a combination. This person did this to themselves. They did this to themselves as a means of protecting themselves, but also because they felt so disempowered in their own life. I'm just getting, it's like, this is someone who either doesn't trust the decisions that they make. You know, they feel like they have a bad picker, or, you know, that they've let themselves down, or that the choices that they've made have not been good. So they may have actually sort of been like, okay, well, I'm just not going to have relationships, or, you know, I'm not going to allow myself to go to that place with another person, because, you know, every time I've thought, yeah, I should, or I've done that or taken it there, it has not worked out for me. And in fact, I've had to heal from it every time. And so I don't want to do that. And so there is this thing where if this person would drop their sword and be vulnerable, well, then we could move on and we would be happy and we would be able to have this. But it's like all this person knows is swords. I mean, look how many swords. The hostilities card is holding a sword, the 3 of swords, the 6 of swords, the 8 of swords. This is somebody who's very much in their head. They're very much an overthinker. They're also someone who's very quick to protect themselves. You know, this energy just hit me. Oh, what is this energy? someone who doesn't always listen, they're not necessarily capable of listening because they're always protecting themselves. You know, have you, like, I actually used to be this way myself. I mean, I am very much an air sign, and I can actually still kind of fall into this habit, and this always leads me to a lot of regrets. And so some of you may be dealing with a Libra or another air sign, Aquarius or Gemini, or someone that has strong air in their chart or presents like an air sign, because this is a very relatable energy to me, where it's like, the situation is emotionally charged. I have something on the line emotionally or vulnerably, and it prevents me from being able to drop into my heart space and listen with an open heart and an open mind. Every once in a while, like if I'm very close to someone where this is happening, I'll say to them, like, hold on a minute. Like, I just need a second here because I feel this is emotionally charged, and I want to be fully present so that I can hear what you're saying. But for a long time in life, I didn't do that, and it was very reactionary. It was like, oh my gosh, this person, like, let's just say this is a breakup, right? Or I think it might be a breakup. And really what it is, hey, it's not a breakup. It's, oh man, this is just, it's coming through in a way where it's so close to me that I can't, that it's burning me. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like creating this response. Okay. So let's say, you have said to this person, I'm disappointed in something, or, you know, I was hoping that we would have gone this way, but it seems like we're kind of going this way. And this person is, you know, they've been hurt before, or they, you know, they are maybe sensitive, and also maybe an air sign, you know, which is, air signs have a tendency to move very quickly and sometimes don't all the way process things. And I'm very fortunate to be married to an earth sign who is very, very patient with me, and who I can always go back to and be like, oh, wow, you know what? This is what you were saying to me, but this is what I was hearing at the time. And that's my bad. You were right. I was wrong. And like, my bad. So sorry. Like, I made that conversation way more difficult than it needed to be because I was in this energy and this is what I was hearing. But now that I'm thinking about what you said, I'm realizing that's not what you were saying at all. You were saying this. And he'll go, yup. He knows I'll come around. He knows I'm going to think about it. I mean, we've been married 30 years. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen all the time, and it happens less and less. But, you know, that's just how it's been. And it's not to say that he's perfect and never does it himself, right? But because whenever we're emotionally invested in a situation, it's very hard to stay fully present in the heart space, because our heart starts feeling a lot of things, you know, and it starts, you know, making us feel like, uh-oh, dangerous territory, red alert, you know, and our ego starts going nuts and it gets really loud. And when our ego is really loud, it's really hard to hear what someone else is saying. And so we have to really make a concerted effort to, you know, just this moment, just this breath, focus on breathing, stay grounded. We will get through this. We will survive. We will find our way to the other side. You know, my best friend, one of my best friends, had the most amazing dad. He died of COVID, but he was a cancer, and he was like this big, huge guy, and he kind of became all of our dad. In fact, like my kids thought of him like a grandparent, and he was just amazing. And whenever anything would happen, he was the first person to show up, to give you a hug, and to say, we're going to get through this. It's going to be okay. And, you know, when you can show up for yourself like that and kind of give yourself that reassuring hug, give yourself that safety, that security, and be like, listen, whatever this is, we can handle it. Then you can hear what other people are saying. Then you can process it. I don't think Pisces really has this problem the way other people have this problem. Not to say that you don't ever have this problem or don't ever experience this, but I think this is very common, especially with fire signs and air signs, where it's like you're touching on a nerve, I'm reacting, you know, and it's very hard for me to stop myself because there is a certain amount of act first and think later with air signs and fire signs. There just is. They can be hot-headed, they can be, you know, and air signs like, I have to do something to take control of the situation. I'm going to flip the switch, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. And then I'll deal with the fallout later, you know, with my skills, you know, my verbal skills is what I'm trying to say. You know, I'll be able to talk it through. But right now I can't stand this, you know? And I've had to really work, really work. And yoga and meditation has been the best thing for me if you do find that you're in this situation. But just, you know, yoga and meditation rewires your brain, and it makes it so you don't first jump to this. Your thermometer doesn't go all the way to the top right away. Anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is I almost feel as if there was a conversation. I almost feel as if this person misinterpreted it or was in this energy of feeling vulnerable, feeling like something may be said here that they didn't like, or where we were getting at was going to be. And so they may have taken up their sword. They may have arbitrarily cut something off. They may have arbitrarily, you know, done something kind of surprising or shocking here, or said something that they didn't really mean. And, you know, this person really did, I think they saw a really strong future with you. There's the Four of Wands. I think that they felt like possibly even their dreams were coming true with the Four of Wands. This is like where what I'm manifesting has come into reality. But you can see with the Three of Swords, there could be unhealed wounds here. And with the Six of Swords, it's like I couldn't get enough oxygen to my brain to stay at a place of peace to process what you were saying. And so what came out, what exists in my subconscious, which is I don't make good choices. I don't make good decisions. I can't do this. I can't give more than I'm giving. I can't go beyond what I have already given. I have nothing left, you know, but also I don't want to see you with somebody else. That's the vibe I'm getting. I hope that makes sense. Pisces, I think you are coming across as someone who's sort of like unaffected. I do feel a very strong emphasis here on Leo season with the Eight of Swords and the Angel of Strength here. For some reason, I am feeling a very strong energy on the month of August, or 8 as a number. You are maintaining your sense of peace. You are maintaining your sense of harmony. You are not going to let this person's actions affect your peace. You are staying strong. I feel that you recognize what is happening within this person, or you're recognizing that this is a bit of a knee-jerk reaction, or you're recognizing, you may even be recognizing this person struggling to come to a place of peace again in their mind since something happened. Like they're trying to process something. This energy is, I don't even have words, but it's like, you can almost see or sense that it's like, okay, something different has happened here, or something different is happening here. And this person can't quite make sense of it, or doesn't quite know how to handle it. It may be an opportunity for some kind of, you know, spiritual enlightenment. When the sword is pointing up, it's pointing up for truth, for clarity, for success, for victory. And you notice these swords are all in reverse, but they too are all pointing up. So it's giving me this sense of whatever this is that happened, and however this person is responding to it, it's an opportunity for them to have success and victory over this kind of like overthinking, self-entrapment energy that they've been in maybe for some time. To break a pattern of thinking, to break themselves free, to break loose, to open up to new possibilities, to possibly even a door to romance. But it feels like, I almost feel like this person is like, instead of leaning into the energy and just letting the realization come through, or just letting the, if we lean into what we don't understand, we will ask enough questions that we will eventually find the answer that we're looking for within ourselves. If we don't ask those questions and we stay in this kind of like fight or flight mode where we're still kind of reacting and responding, we don't get the true benefit of what's happening there. But what I feel is almost this energy of suspended experience, where it's kind of like, I haven't closed the door to learning or to having this epiphany, but I haven't opened the door to have it. It's like I'm just standing there blocking the energy flow. Like I'm afraid of anything changing more than it already has. If you guys have seen the new Mission Impossible movie, there's a scene where a train car goes off the edge of a cliff, right? And they're running back up. I think it was Mission Impossible. I don't know. They're running back up the train car, like trying not to go over the cliff with the train car and, like not make it worse. They're trying to survive, right? And it's very hard. And that's the energy that I'm getting here. It's like, I don't want to go over with the train car. Like, I don't want to make that decision again. Like, I don't, it's like, I don't want to fully lose my grip on this situation. Even though it's kind of like this uphill battle that's very hard, just to stay in this suspended state, not even to get myself to safety. I'm trying to get myself to safety, but it's like, ugh. If you guys know the scene I'm talking about, I think you understand, but if you don't, you might not, and I'm sorry about it. It's the only way it's the only thing that is popping into my brain right now. But anyway, and it's like this person is going through all of this, right? And you're just hanging out. You're just like, I know who I am. I know what I'm about. I know what I have to offer. I cannot, make this person choose to heal. I cannot make this person choose to see the light. I'm not going to prove my worth. I am not going to prove my value. I don't do that for anyone. I don't need to. I'm very secure in myself and my situation. I really hope that this person comes along or comes back around, but it's kind of like, sort of that they're going through something. You have some kind of clue that they're going through something, and it's very mental. It's something that they're not telling you, something they're not expressing to you. They may give you there may be signs, there may be, almost like an unrelated message, or where it's like, they may be letting you know that they still care. Sorry. Or, see, like, whoa, my throat chakra is just closing. It's hard for this person to talk. It's hard for this person to tell you. It just is, I can tell. It's hard for them to even put it into words, because I don't think they necessarily understand it. But they don't want to lose this, and they don't want you opening your door to someone else. They don't want you giving someone else a chance. Okay. It's like, Pisces, you've overcome your lower vibrational tendencies, and you're not going to give in to them you're letting this person experience what they need to experience. You're not saving them. You're not rescuing them. You're not moving away, but your back is kind of turned. It's like, if you want me to turn around, you're going to have to act right. And this is not right. This isn't, you're just not quite there. You know what I mean? I need you to come in and use your words here. I am actually just going to reshuffle this. I was not in the place mentally that I needed to be in with the cards, and this is a brand new deck. So If it's meant to be, it will be. But also, just gonna show you that. You have blessings coming in, Pisces. You have blessings coming in. Okay. For Pisces, please, Spirit. For Pisces, what do they need to know about this connection, about this relationship, about this person who is clearly going through something? I just did a reading for my other channel, and I don't want to say it was similar to this, but it was similar to this. Okay. Wow. 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 Well, this is very clear, and I'm glad that I did that. See, there's this energy. There may be someone also in the physical world that doesn't want you to be with this person, or, you know, it could be a jealous ex. It could be someone else that likes you or likes them. It could be even, you know, friends that kind of don't want their friend to be happier than they are. But I'm getting the green-eyed monster. I really think that it's this past person that is like, I don't want you to be with somebody else. And they're really focused on that. They're really focused on you not getting away from them rather than from getting to safety, getting to the healing place. Like leaning into it and just going, okay, I'm going over the side with this train car and I'm going to put myself back together. Like it's all going to fall apart and then I'm going to put myself back together. It's like, I can't let the whole thing, you know what I mean? It's weird. It's a very weird energy. It's like if they just leaned into it and healed, then we could move on. But they're kind of like, it's like they're kind of halfway going through this or halfway processing this mentally because they're so fixed on you not getting with someone else and also you, not getting away from them. There's this energy of infatuation. And, you know, it feels like this person was willing to acknowledge that there was a physical attraction or that there was something there, but they were in denial. They weren't really willing to say, I'm really developing feelings, or this is getting really strong, or this is feeling really intense, or guys, we have so many toys. Let's not fight over one octopus. He's got 8 legs. Surely you can share that guy. He's huge. Come on. Let's play nice. We got a giraffe and an octopus. Come on, look at these guys. They all want to get played with. Not just the octopus. They all want to play. Sorry, you guys. I know, handsome. I run doggy day here. Not really. Just I have my granddog. Bhakti. So I do feel like this person is kind of like they weren't really willing to admit what was happening. Guys, nobody wants to hear you barking right in the microphone. Nobody wants to hear that. I love you so much and I'll play with you when I'm done, but I gotta finish this. You precious princess. Yeah, you're a princess of everything, aren't ya? I do feel like this person, what they have been fighting, their logical mind has not wanted them possibly to realize that they have feelings here for the situation. And that, you know, maybe this went a little deeper or a little further than they were willing to admit. Guys. No, we're not barking. Come on. I need you to be good. I need you to lay down. Lay down. Lay down, little girl. Come on. We gotta do your training. Lay down. Lay down. Good girl. No. Good girl. Okay, now you lay down too, handsome. You go lay down too, my boy. I feel like they weren't willing to admit this to themselves. But I feel like, you know, they're obviously jealous. They obviously don't want anyone else getting near you. They obviously also are not feeling very settled about this. They're still very much focused on it. And it's like they're putting all their energy or action and all their thinking towards this. That's not infatuation. That's not, I think you're hot. I think, you know, that's like, there's more investment in it than that. And it's almost as if this person is trying to avoid it. But the more they try to avoid it, or the more time they spend away from it, and the more you stay in the energy that you're staying in, the more it's like, it's just becoming clear. You do not get this wound up and this upset over someone you think is hot. Like, we think people are hot all the time. You can go to the grocery store and be like, well, maybe not where I live. I live where, well, you know, I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm not age discriminating. There are very attractive older people, but I do live in a place where I'm quite young for where I live, which I love. It actually keeps me young, or at least I think. I hope. But this isn't a normal reaction to, man, I think you're hot. To infatuation. This is, holy shit, if you meet someone else and you develop feelings for someone else, and I don't have a chance to come back around, or I lose access to you, or I have to watch that, God forbid, or I have to, you know that I lost a chance with someone that really mattered to me because I was too, I don't know, prideful, egotistical, whatever, to admit I had feelings and do something about it. I will lose my mind. This person is already losing their mind, thinking about the possibility of it. They're wanting to bring this connection back together. And it feels like if they do, and if they can be honest, and if they can come clingy and actually put the sword down and be vulnerable instead of so combative. I mean, I don't know what, I don't want to say combative, but it feels that way. Let me spray my throat spray because this drink is not working. You never get used to that feeling of spraying your throat or it numbing, but gosh, this stuff works. Okay. You know, I feel like if this person comes clean, like all they have to do is come clean. All they have to do is, and I say all they have to do, but this is tough stuff. You know, this is very hard to say how you really truly feel. It's like, first they have to do it with themselves. You know, first they have to look at themselves and be like, whoa, man, I am this jealous green-eyed monster over Pisces, and I can't seem to get over it, and I can't seem to come to a place of peace mentally about it. Why? Because Pisces is everything I ever wanted, or it almost feels like the answer of a dream or a manifestation. Why am I fighting against this? Why, you know, maybe I just need to come clean. Maybe I just need to say, you know, I don't want anyone else getting close to you. I have feelings for you. I don't want to lose you. I don't want this train car to go over the edge. I can't take it. But it definitely feels like if we can shift into a vulnerable energy, we're going all the way. Like this has real long-lasting potential. Like there could be a true reconciliation and like forever here. Okay, let's dive into the tarot. It is like, it feels like all this person has to do is choose this path. All this person has to do is admit that they want this. But there's a blockage here. And with the Five of Wands, we're going to clarify it, right? But with the Five of Wands, it can be that blockage between the heart and the throat where this person literally just cannot get the words out, where they literally just can't say it. They can't admit it. That the blockage could be inside of them. The blockage could also be external competition, people around you that are jealous of you, that maybe don't want you to be happy, or that want what they want with you and are trying to make it difficult for you to have it with this person. With that Ace of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, it's like, this is a solid and stable opportunity. If we can get this thing off the ground and we can invest in it, it can become something really remarkable. I really love the tarot. Okay, I'm just gonna say. I love the tarot. All right, so remember how I said that Five of Wands could be something external or it could be something internal? This is showing that it's actually both, okay? But this cycle is coming to a natural conclusion. This person hasn't said anything, like they haven't said out loud, like, I want this. And the reason is because they're misaligned within themselves. They don't know what they want. They're in denial. They're not admitting it or acknowledging it. They're kind of running away from their self and their own desires, afraid to want what they want, maybe even. With the Five of Wands being clarified by the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is always my card for that Rumi quote of, seek not love, but seek instead all the barriers you have built within you against it. You know, if we all just took down our barriers and we were able to be open and vulnerable with one another, and we were able to see love, be love, and seek love and give love, you know, to each other, like, we would be in a totally different world, a totally different situation, okay? But the barriers are the things that prevent us from connectedness, okay? And the World card, which is here, right, on the bottom of the deck, is it is completion. It is the end of a cycle, and definitely that's happening with the Ten of Wands and the World card. We're closing out this burdensome cycle that has absolutely sucked. It's been blocked, you know? But the World card also represents our connection to everything that is, which is kind of bliss energy. When you are really in the sunshine and you are feeling the sunshine on your face and your shoulders, and you just really start to explore that feeling, and you think about that same sun that is warming your face and your shoulders, it is what is making the flowers grow and the trees grow and the grass green and this earth so freaking beautiful and full of life and vibrant. And You start to feel connected to the energy of life and the energy of, you know, everything. I mean, in yoga, we do sun salutations where we like literally praise the sun. And I always feel like this super strong sense of connection to Mother Earth and to the sun and to, like, you know, just everything. And when you really go there and you really get into that energy, it's called bliss. That's what it's called. Because that feeling of being so connected and that feeling of its divinity, its beauty, it is limitlessness. It is just the great vast miracle that is life, and connecting deeply into that energy blisses you out. And so we have the World card here, and it is representing the ending of a cycle, but it is also representing that energy of connection, of, you know, if I let go of these barriers that are blocking me from love, it frees me to embrace this love. It frees me to embrace connection. I don't have to be by myself. I don't have to be isolated. I don't have to feel all these burdens and all these pressures and feel responsible for them by myself. I have a soft place to fall. I have someone waiting for me at the end of the day. Someone who cares about me, someone who is considering me and thinking about me, you know? And wow, the reward of that, and wow, just how good it feels to allow yourself to be cared for and to be loved. Why am I blocking that? Why am I working so hard to fight when I don't need to? When what I really need to do is just open. That's a good, the Three of Swords. I'm wounded. We have the Death card, the Two of Swords in reverse, and the Three of Swords upright. You know, this is this person, this is a major transformation. This isn't like, you know, small potatoes. This is like major. This is like, I'm not gonna be the same. I'm not gonna look at the world or life or anything the same after this. I'm gonna lay down my swords. So many swords in this reading. We do also have Scorpio energy and all the fixed signs, which include Scorpio. But there's this energy of, you know, with the Two of Swords, oftentimes this is an energy we go in to protect ourselves. It's this energy of like, I've been wounded, I've been hurt, you know, I'm not myself. And if you reach out to me, I might respond in a way that isn't, you know, what I mean to say or how I mean to be. So it's better if I just sort of shut down. I don't make any decisions. I don't make it worse. I don't open myself up to any kind of vulnerability because I am just a raw nerve. You know, nothing good can come from this. I need to take a minute. I need to take a beat. But it feels like this person puts himself in this protective mode. I kind of want to say sort of quickly, or and I always hate that because what is that? It is sort of a form of judgment. You know, it's not cool to be that way. Like, oh no, you're doing that way too often. You know, we do it as often as we need to. But what I'm saying is with that Three of Swords on the bottom of the deck, it's a symptom. It's a sign. It's coming from another place. And when it's happening so frequently that it is actually interfering in our ability to have what we want in life or to live freely our own life and make choices for ourselves that aren't like, I gotta shut down. We need to look at the wounding. We need to address where this is coming from. Why am I doing this? Why am I throwing up this energy? Why am I misaligned? Why can't I communicate what I feel and what I want to say? What is blocking me? And it is usually and almost always the Three of Swords. It is usually and almost always some kind of suffering, some kind of trauma, some kind of, something. And with the Three of Swords, it's like I always say, it's not just the event that happened, but it's what we've told ourselves about it afterward, and how we've processed it. And if we haven't processed it, if we just suppressed it, if we just pushed it down, then we do go into the Two of Swords quite a bit, because we're always kind of vulnerable. If anybody touches that or gets close to that wound, shut down is what happens. But these things are not bad, right? These things are actually good if you look at it like, okay, here's my opportunity to lean into this energy. Here's my opportunity to say, oh, okay, I keep reacting to this, or I keep having to shut down. I keep not being able to listen to what people are actually saying because it's too close to touching a nerve, because it feels too much like rejection, or it feels too much like abandonment, or it starts to sound a certain way and I shut down. And why is that? Well, because I have an abandonment wound. Well, because I was rejected a lot as a kid. I was bullied. My parents didn't want me. Whatever it is. But once we have the opportunity to kind of take that breath and to make that realization and to kind of put those things together to bridge that gap, we have the opportunity to kind of heal it. We have the opportunity to say, okay, you know what? I actually don't want this to dictate the rest of my life. I don't want this to throw me into a place where I can't make a decision and I can't move in any direction over and over and over again. So I need to look at it and I need to heal it and I need to take care of it. I need to man up, mature up, whatever it is, and I need to deal with this. Because I don't want to keep acting like a caveman, or, I don't want to keep shutting myself down from the opportunity to have what it is I actually really do want. And so it's time for me once and for all to deal with this healing, or to deal with this wounding, I mean. Wow. Wow. Okay. Man. The Death card is being clarified by the Tower, the Judgment, the Two of Cups, and the Eight of Swords. I mean, damn. We already saw the Eight of Swords, right, on the bottom of the deck when we clarified that hostilities card. When you don't feel free to make the move you want to make, or to say the thing you want to say, or to do the thing you want to do, you do get pissed. You do get angry. That's why a lot of other emotions actually are expressed like anger. Because if we're pushing down our hurt, it comes out like anger. Anger is, any kind of, it's like you have this feeling and you can't deal with it. And so you start to get pissed off. You start to get mad. You can't process it. You can't deal with it. And then boom, anger erupts, right? Because that it has to get out. It has to be expressed. That energy is building and it needs expression in order to be released, right? And I feel like when it comes to this, I feel like this person really does want a relationship, and they really do, they feel the deep soul connection, and I think they even want another chance. I think, the Tower and the Eight of Swords, it feels really a lot to me like that train card dangling off the edge of the cliff, It's like, okay, it's giving me this. Not everyone responds to going over the hill in the train car the same way. So some people, have built muscles and have reflexes that are sharp and honed and are like, okay, danger, something bad's happening, the train's going over the cliff, I've got to run to the top of the car. Other people sit there and almost get paralyzed with the fear and can't speak and can't move and can't respond and sort of go over the cliff with the train car every time. And it's giving me that energy here of someone that hasn't figured out how to process, you know, having a relationship or being able to open up or being able to, you know, reciprocate or balance something out. It's like they've always just learned how to recover afterward or sort of shut down, survive it, like get through it, and then put the pieces back together and rebuild afterward. But they've never really healed. And part of this connection, part of this relationship is this person's opportunity to heal and to rise above. This is like very scorpionic energy. You have Judgment, the Tower, and a Death card. I mean, this is Scorpio, 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 Scorpio. Is Pluto in retrograde? Because if Pluto's in retrograde, then we really like, but this is someone going through a major period of transition, of transformation in their life. This is like, I will not be the same on the other side of this as I was before it. Like, I will not, I will not, I feel like it's kind of like I won't shut down. I won't close up. I won't, because you can see it. You have the Two of Swords in reverse, clarified by the Sun card, and then you have the Fool on the bottom of the deck. I'm going to take one on the Tower. Guys, I keep thinking I'm better. I'm like, oh, I'm better. Like, I'm not all stuffed up. I'm better, but I am like literally exhausted, and this throat thing is just making me insane. Oh my God. This person is, I feel like this is a big realization. This is a lot of clarity that this is like, okay, this is the person I manifested. This is the person that knows their worth, that knows their value, that isn't chasing me, that isn't dependent on me, that isn't toxic, that isn't codependent, that isn't using me. That this is someone that can stand on their own, that doesn't need me, and that has, you know, figured out to be who they are and how they are on their own. This is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I was asking for. And now I'm faced with it and I can't handle it. I'm the one that's shutting down. I'm the one that can't show up. I'm the one that has these 8 swords. It's exposing to me all of this shit that is inside of me that has always kind of prevented me. It's maybe even exposing to me why I was resonating with toxic relationships to begin with, and what needs to be healed and what needs to be done. Because I'm finally looking at exactly what I wanted, exactly what I said I would commit to if it ever came my way, and I couldn't do it. Wow. There's clarity and there is healing on this energy of what was causing this person to shut down this wound. It's enabling them to be able to leave it in the past. It's enabling them to be able to let go of it, to set those 10 wands down and to move about freely with a Fool card, to follow their gut instinct, to go after what they want, to have what it is they want to have here, and to take a leap of faith without fear. I don't want to say without fear altogether, but without the same kind of fear that they had before, or the same limiting belief system, the same mentality and mindset. Yeah, this person hasn't come forward in some time because they were healing. It may have even been a lengthy period of time, but this person was balanced. They were rebalancing, they were recentering. It's almost like, when you do go through a major period of healing, or when you go through a period of healing where you start to acknowledge and admit to yourself the toxicity, where it all comes from, especially when it goes back into your childhood, and you're really realizing how messed up it was, or how the effect it has on you. With the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, it's almost like recognizing that the smartest thing for me to do right now is to not take a step forward, is to not move from this place until I have rebalanced and recentered, until I have come to a place of peace, really, with this. Because there's a lot that happens there. There's a grieving process. There's, grieving who you could have been if you had never experienced that. A lot of times too, you realize that it wasn't just like one person, like there were multiple people complicit. You know what I mean? Like, there were people that saw what was happening to you and didn't help you. And there's also that feeling of helplessness that does come from like childhood trauma, where it's like, I had no choice. Like, I just had to do what I had to do to survive and get out of there, and so I let it change me. Maybe I even did things that I wasn't proud of, or maybe I even, I see why I function in this way, and it just makes me so sad, because I've spent 30 years functioning this way, or 50 years functioning this way, or 60 years functioning this way, and it didn't have to be that way. And then you get angry at the people that made you that way. And then you grieve for the person that you could have been, or the years that you could have had, or the people that you may have inadvertently hurt because you were toxic yourself, or even the experiences that you had that you feel were unnecessary had you not had that childhood. I mean, you see what I'm saying? It's like there's a almost like a planetary shift that happens like within you when you really come to terms with what it is, and you come to a place of peace and acceptance with it. A lot shifts and a lot changes. And it's not smart to make decisions, or to even, the Knight of Pentacles is my energy of like, I know I need to just put one foot in front of the other. It's going to be really freaking hard, but I know I need to do it. I need to head in a direction. And this is kind of like acknowledging that, like, I actually need to just stop. I actually need to just rest. I actually need to take a beat with myself and move through this space and just let all these realizations hit me, and not move in any particular direction, and not really involve anyone else. But I need to sort through this, get regrounded, recentered, heal, and then I can make a move. There is a point of reflection here with the Nine of Cups and the Two of Pentacles, where the way that you know that something has changed within someone sometimes is the decisions that they're making. And you can start to see that the decisions are coming from a place of love rather than fear. And that there is something healed within this person, that they care about their own emotional contentment and emotional well-being. That, the undercurrent of fear and illusion that maybe even made whatever relationship you had with them feel a bit shaky or a bit confusing at times, even if it was solid, even if it was a good, even if the connection was so deep and you were able to have conversations with this person and whatever, there's always some kind of realization that you do have, or a deep inner knowing of like, there are parts of this person you can't quite reach, or there are parts of this person that are still a mystery. Or you can even feel the energy of this person thinking, and you know that they may be coming up with would'ves, shouldas, couldas. What if this happens? What if that happens? You know, they may even say that. Like, if you say, oh my gosh, we should go camping next month. And they go, well, what if it rains all month? What if it does this? What if it does that? You can see just the energy of, this person is always looking for the worst case scenario, or this person is always, hedging their bets, or this person is never really just free and clear to say, yeah, let's do it, And now with the Two of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups, you see when they're faced with a decision, and they could go either way between love and fear, and they always kind of went with fear, or you always knew the possibility existed that they were going to choose fear. There's almost a quiet confidence that you're gaining that this person is going to choose love, because they're coming from a space of greater emotional contentment, where fear doesn't have as much, I'm getting the word purchase. I don't know why. Fear doesn't have the same hold when you come from a place of emotional contentment. You're more confident. You're more like, things are probably going to work out, And they feel freer. So it's a matter of time, it's a matter of time. I feel with Temperance and the Seven of Pentacles, this is very much divine timing. When it's ready, it'll be ready. But this person is doing what it takes for them to be able to share a vision and to share a plan and to collaborate wholeheartedly with another person. This is someone who, things are taking root within them. Things are growing. Seeds have been planted, and this person is going through a major transformation. With the 2 sevens here, this is a very spiritual experience for this person. And it's kind of one of those things where it's going to take as long as it's going to take. This person has to battle all the battles that they have to battle. There's no shortcut. There's no easy way around it. You actually have 3 sevens sitting right here. Like, this is a very spiritual experience. And it does feel like it is pretty profound, and that it does have, a very deep and lasting effect. So we just kind of have to let someone go through something like that and, maintain our own sense of strength. I do feel like this person is either a presence in your life, or they're trying to become a presence in your life on some level. It depends on where they're at in this kind of like timeline. If they're still really deep in the throes of uncovering where this pain and this decision making and this shutting down energy is coming from, then they may not be making any moves or even really making an appearance in your life at this time. But they will, I feel. If they have sort of really realized, their mental awareness is there, that this is where it came from, and they're starting to, heal and come to a place of peace with it and process it, and really decide for themselves that they don't want their past to dictate their present and their future, then I do think that they are at least making small moves to come forward at this time. I think there is definitely an energy of patience here, and just letting this person evolve in their own pace at their own time. That doesn't mean that you have to wait for them. But and I don't really see you waiting for them. I see you being strong and knowing the value of what you have to offer. And maybe you even understand that you are someone that comes into people's lives and exposes to them their own path to healing. Maybe this isn't even your first kind of go around with this. But I think you understand yourself what is happening here and what you want to do about it, and it is your choice. You don't owe this person anything. You don't have to stick around for it. You don't have to wait for them to sort through this. You don't have to be patient. You are free to go. In fact, I think that if you chose to, you would be guided to a different relationship. But this is what I have for you. All right, let me get you some messages. I do think this person is really working to be somebody that you do want to be in a relationship with. I will say that. And I do think that it is because of this connection and everything that they feel. All right, if you're dealing with a water sign, you have old flames, twin flames. It's hard for me to explain things, and I don't care what people think anymore. Okay. Whoa. If you're dealing with a fire sign, you have resentment. You are hard to forget, honest. And I am making plans. If you're dealing with an earth sign, I want to be vulnerable with you. I am trying to figure things out. Whoops. No one else matters now, and angry. And if you are dealing with an air sign, I am sending you telepathic messages. I regret how I handled things before. You've changed my direction. You give me so much to look forward to. You know, Pisces, with the Seven of Wands and that hostilities card, I really am seriously getting the feeling that you may be entering into a period of time where you have some competition for your love and attention. I'm really strongly, like, all of a sudden, I'm just getting that messaging very, very strong. So this person may be the central focus for you right now, or that you may be their central focus right now, and that may be why this reading is coming up. But I honestly am sensing that you're coming into a period of time where there is competition for your attention. And I feel like it is happening a lot because you are sitting in your worth and your value, and you're not compromising, you're not caving. You're just hanging in and hanging on and being you and staying true. And I think that is going to take you in some really amazing places here. All right, this is what I have for you. I really hope that it helps. I hope it brought you some peace and clarity. If it did, let me know. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I love to hear from you. Until next time, my Pisceans, hopefully I will be all better by then. All right. Until next time, all my best. Always, always, always. Bye-bye.